Hello friends, this is Avinash Nair over here, and today we are going to have the Salesforce Analytics video session 2. So in case you didn't watch the first session, please watch it where I explained you how we can actually create a free Salesforce Analytics house as well as a free Salesforce developer org. Okay, so for today's session, we only need the free Salesforce Analytics org. Fine. So firstly, you will just go over here, that is login.salesforce.com, and whatever username you had actually uh, given, you just give that username and password which you created which I told you how to create in the previous session. Let me put my one. So in today's session, we are actually going to create account dataset, contact dataset, opportunity dataset, lead dataset, and product datasets. Okay. And we will do that by using a data flow, and also we are going to verify the data. Fine. So once you log in, you will be able to find this Analytics Studio in your app launcher. So once you go over there, just over to this data manager, and once you hover there, you can just click on this particular drop down manage data flow, and once you are here, you can actually go to data flows and recipe, and you can hover to data flows. Fine. And just click on this create data flow. You can give uh, the data flow name. Let's say I'm giving the name as something like this, free session 1. Okay. And let me click on create. Now, once I do this, you can give any data flow name as per the naming convention. Now, the first thing is basically I have to check. This is the node, that is SFDC digest node. Via this node, you are actually will be able to pull in your data from your internal Salesforce org, like whatever objects you have in your internal, you will be able to pull in data from there. So once I click over here, let me just give the name as account. Okay, and let me take the source object as account. And here, let me select a few fields. Let's say for now, I can just go by ID, and I think name and industry. Okay. So let me click on create. Once you click on create, you are going to find this node. The next part is the register part. Via this node, you will be able to create the data set basically. So whatever transformation or data you are checking here, you will be able to check it on the data set level. Okay. So let me give it as uh, account data set. Let me give the source node. Source node is nothing but your previous node. Alias, let me give it as account data set, and under alias you have to give an underscore because spaces are not allowed in alias. Okay, and we can skip this part. So this is one account SFDC digest node I have taken, and I have taken a register node, and the next part will be I will be updating the data flow, and I'm just going to run the data flow. Okay, now let me just go back to my data monitor. So firstly, whenever you are running the data flow, the sync is going to happen via which whatever latest records you are going to have, those records are going to be there in your table. And once this sync gets completed, our data flow is going to run. So since we are doing this for the first time, it will take a few minutes. Great. So the sync already happened. And now, as you can see, our data flow is running. Okay, so it ran successfully. Now, firstly, what I'm going to do is I will actually check how many records I have in my internal Salesforce org. That is the org which contains the Instanalytics. So basically, there's an SQL query which we can write for account. So let me write it as okay. So I have written this SOQL query, that is Salesforce Object Query Language. Okay. So I have written select count of ID from account, and I'm able to see the total count, which is 1006. So you all can also download the Salesforce Inspector in case you are not aware how to download. So just search in Google Salesforce Inspector. Okay. And once you click on this Salesforce Inspector, just add it to the Chrome. So in my case, it's already added. That's why this button is coming. But in case you didn't add, then you will just get an option of add it to Chrome and just do that. And then extension needs to be added. And once you do that, you will be able to see this drop down will come on the very right, from where you will be able to see your Salesforce Inspector. It's a good tool where we can easily export, import data as well. Okay, compared to the default developer console which Salesforce already provides. Fine. So now 1003 is the total number of records, and we will now check it on the data set. So under here, you just click on browse. Fine. And under browse, if you just go to your data sets, and this is the data set which we created just now, that is account data set. And once I open the account data set, right, you see the number which is coming over here is 1003. Okay, which means it's it's being verified. I mean, whatever number we currently have on the Salesforce side, that's the exact number which is showing up for account. Okay, so that's how we do. And similarly, this same procedure you can follow for other objects as well, that is contacts, leads, opportunities, and products. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, in this particular data flow itself, I will also bring in the other objects very quickly, and I will do that at one go. So let's say I'll be doing the contact right now. Let me select a few field. Let's say ID. Let me select account ID, and maybe the name, and let me click on create. And once again, I will add the data set. So let me write over here contact data set. This will be contact. Be very careful while giving the alias name, as I told you earlier. Like there, the spaces are not allowed. Otherwise, you will get an error. And let me just repeat the same procedure for others as well. Account contact. Let's say this is leads. Let me take the object lead. Um, ID new, and I like to just go for uh, maybe industry. And let me search here for name. I think that's enough. Let me create the register node. At last, let me bring the product as well. Product is basically the API name of the product. Let me check if I can bring any other field, maybe. I think product code makes sense. And I have already taken all the objects. So I have taken addition, contact, lead, opportunity, and product. And at one go, I'm going to run this. Okay. Let me update the data flow. And after update, let me click on run. So let's go back to the data monitor. Again, the sync is going to happen first as expected. Fine. And since it's running for the first time, it will take a couple of minutes. In the meanwhile, let's do one thing. Let's also just keep the SQL query handy as well. So now here I'm going to write as contact. So I'm able to see the contact as 3. Okay. Again, let me find for this is contact. So account we already verified. And here let me write lead. Okay, opportunity I already found out. And the next part is product. So I hope you all know how to write that SQL query where we need to find the count. Okay. So now again, just let me refresh the monitor. So it ran successfully. And now again, I'm going to go over here. Let me just refresh this. And let's check one by one if we are getting the proper counts or not. Okay. So let me directly go to datasets. Okay. So over here, the first thing is the contact dataset. So let me click over here. And as you can see, we found the number of contacts as 3. And that is what exactly we're getting over here as well. Okay. And then let us take the lead. So for lead, we got 22. And here also I find the number as 22. Okay. Which means it's correctly verified. Now let's check the next one, which is opportunity. For opportunity 711. And as you can see, it's showing 711 here as well. And the last one is nothing but your product data set. So once I click over there, I'm able to see 17, and here also it's coming 17. Okay. So yeah, that's the whole purpose of this session, where actually I had helped you how to create the main objects of Sales Cloud. That is, the account, contact, leads, opportunities, and products. So, and we also verified the data. So just revising it very quickly for you, in the data flow, you just take this node SFDC digest, which pulls in all your objects from your local Salesforce org, that is org which contains your Einstein Analytics, and just create a register node. Via register node, you will be able to see the data set, and just side by also open your Salesforce inspector and write the query, and just verify whatever counts you are getting is being matched or not. Fine. And yeah, that's it for this video. In case you have liked this video, then definitely please like, share, and subscribe. Until then, see you, and let's meet in the next session very soon.